BNZ is so confident of a reduction to the official cash rate tomorrow, it's already announced cuts to its fixed home loan rates across every term. But as political correspondent Zane Small reports, a quiet cut to the government's first home loan scheme will cost borrowers thousands of dollars.
It's come to symbolise union protests around the world. A giant inflatable rat. It was erected outside the manufacturing plant where the finance minister delivered a speech today.
What do we want? Pay equity! When do we want it? Now!
The pay equity changes saved the government nearly $13 billion. And speaking to the Auckland business community, Nicola Willis spoke about why she didn't want to borrow instead.
Today, about $1 of every 15 of the government's operating spending is going towards paying the interest bill on our borrowings.
They found savings of $5.3 billion a year in the budget, which included halving the government's contribution to KiwiSaver to $260 a year, while increasing the default rate for employers and workers to make up for it.
The increases in contribution rates to KiwiSaver will mean that people have a bigger deposit available to them when they go to withdraw from their KiwiSaver for a first home.
The government has also made a quiet cut to its first home loan scheme, which will hit buyers in the pocket. The scheme allows first home buyers who earn under a certain amount to purchase a property with a deposit of at least 5%. Most lenders require a minimum 20%, so government housing agency Kāinga Ora guarantees the difference. To use the scheme, borrowers must pay lenders' mortgage insurance of 1.2% of the loan. Currently, borrowers pay 0.5% of that and Kāinga Ora pays the rest. But from July, the government will cease its contribution, saving nearly $18 million a year.
Our budget is very much a responsible budget.
Mortgage broker Izaz Hussain attended the minister's speech and says the first home loan scheme has helped many of his clients.
So we have seen a significant amount of people have taken advantage of that.
For an average first home loan of $550,000, the government's change will mean an increase of about $3,800 for the borrower. However, it can be paid up front or added to the loan.
You can't escape that that's going to be an additional cost to those first home buyers, but at the end of the day, I think the impact is going to be minimal. You are going to still see the good interest rates on offer for those going for those loans.
Interest rates are down and forecast to fall further. The Reserve Bank will make its announcement tomorrow, and I will not seek to influence that.
The Reserve Bank sets the benchmark for interest rates, known as the official cash rate. It was hiked up to cool pandemic-fuelled price inflation, but has since been trending down to stimulate the sluggish economy. BNZ is so confident in another rate reduction tomorrow, the bank today announced cuts to its fixed home loan rates across every term.
I think everyone's anticipating a 25-point drop. I don't think there's going to be any surprises there.
That would bring the OCR to 3.25%, the lowest in years, and forecasts show gradual economic growth.
It's about hope grounded in reality, that we can continue to invest in the things that matter.
But these protesters would argue that pay equity was one of those things that matter.
Well, kia ora, Zane. Are we seeing a chipping away of support for first home buyers here?
Well, you heard Nick Virtue in my story saying you can't escape that the changes the government is making to the first home loan scheme will be an additional cost for the first home buyers that use it. And remember at last year's budget, the government took away the first home grant of up to $10,000 that could go towards a deposit. But the government says the savings from the first home loan scheme will go towards things like social housing. And that's been the general theme of this year's budget, lots of tricky trade-offs. And with the Reserve Bank set to cut the official cash rate again tomorrow, that should continue the downward trajectory of home loan rates.
Zane Small there live at Parliament for us. Tēnā koe, Zane.